So on the whole, when you think of superheroes, you think of them as beings that don't necessarily kill. While famous figures like Batman and Superman aren't against beating a bad guy up, they are against murdering him in cold blood. But as it turns out, plenty of morally upstanding superheroes have killed a surprisingly large amount of people, even folks with supposed rules against killing. So let's take a look at them. As I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are 10 superheroes with sickeningly high kill counts. Number 10. Wonder Woman. It's almost funny that Wonder Woman is such close pals with Batman and Superman when you remember that she's often incredibly game to snap necks and stomp faces whenever the urge arises. While a spot of murder isn't Diana's go-to option, she certainly doesn't shy away from it. She snapped Grendel's neck, beheaded Medusa, and just straight up stabbed people when she felt that it was the most appropriate thing to do. Although the Amazonian warrior's morals stop her from killing as often as they encourage her to, it's still undeniably weird that she's so often damn blasé about ending lives. Indeed, it is this propensity to kill that has caused tensions between her and other superheroes several times over in her crime-fighting career, the most notable of these being her stone-cold neck snap of Maxwell Lord. Number 9. Batman. As a superhero who is rather famous for having a no-kill rule, it's more than a little surprising to have the realization that the Dark Knight has killed a fair few people over the years. Admittedly though, these occasions are usually in the more uncharacteristic Batman stories, such as when the Bat boned Black Canary after burning a bunch of men alive in All-Star Batman and Robin. There's also a frankly unnerving amount of murders in the original Batman series as well, which is especially strange when you remember that this comic was once considered to be for kids, but maybe kids just love murder apparently. It's also worth mentioning that while it shouldn't go towards his own personal kill count, the fact that Batman actively saves supervillains from the jaws of death does make him somewhat responsible for the string of murders they inevitably carry out afterwards. Number 8. Black Widow. Raised as a professional assassin since birth, Natasha's greatest struggle as a hero is likely trying to not kill every single person within a 5-foot radius of her, because the urge to murder and maim has been ingrained in her from such a young age. Indeed, though Nat largely opts out of breaking skulls nowadays, that's not to say that she's totally forgotten her training. Provoke the ire of the Black Widow, and she's still going to rip out your spinal cord with one hand. It's just that now she might at least have some moment of guilt about it afterwards. In short, if you're going to find a superhero, maybe don't pick the one who has been taught to consider evisceration as an ordinary form of greeting. Number 7. Aquaman. It's a real shame that Aquaman has the reputation of being the dorkiest member of the Justice League, because you know what, it conceals the fact that he's actually a hardcore killer. Because for all of its cute fish and sea life, Atlantis is a pretty brutal kingdom. Criminals are often executed, and wars can't be won by just knocking people unconscious with a manta ray. No, they require blood. So the next time you go to say that Aquaman is a nerd, remember that he has definitely gotten a shark to eat someone alive at least once in his superhero tenure, and that he likely won't hesitate to do so again. Number 6. Thor. With all of his friendly grins and upstanding morals, it's easy to think that Thor would never hurt a fly. While his hammer is made for smashing faces, it is a well-established fact that the dude has a heart of gold, and thus he seems rather low on the list of potential murderers to take up membership with the Avengers. But said dude is both a Norse god and a medieval-style warrior, so of course he's bashed more than a few heads in. It's often brushed to one side, but the fact that Thor has been a key part in so many of his family's battles and wars means that he's killed a whole lot of people in his time, and he's likely thought about murdering even more. Berserker rage is all fine and well in wars against bloodthirsty giants and demons, but you have to worry about how it translates to the more fragile human body when Thor dukes it out with them. Number 5. Deadpool. Saying that Deadpool has killed a lot of people is likely as surprising as saying that his costume contains some red and some black. Though the merc with a mouth has gone through some considerable moral improvement since his first appearance in the comics, he's got no problem with killing anyone who stands in his way, well, unless it's a child. Crucially, while he's now more of an anti-hero, Wade is still a hired killer. Just a hired killer who takes out criminals instead of the enemies of whoever pays best. It's a slow improvement, but an improvement nonetheless. Number 4. Black Noir. The Boys is a series quite literally filled to the brim with violence in every issue, if not on every page. While each character has a kill count higher than you'd feel comfortable counting to, the award for Most Unhinged Serial Killer goes to Black Noir, who remains a mysterious figure for most of the series. Then it's revealed that he's actually a clone of the Homelander, and a particularly unstable one at that. Created to take the Golden Boy down whenever he's given the signal, Noir gets out his urge to kill his twin by committing unspeakable atrocities on the rest of the population. population. Though we're not given the specific number in regards to how many men, women and children Black Noir has tortured and killed since its creation, it's made pretty clear that a buffet of people have been taken down by the creepy, air quotes, hero over the years. Number 3. Moon Knight. Anyone who basically knows anything about Moon Knight knows that his one crucial defining trait is his propensity for murder. Moon Knight is not only willing to kill folks, he actively craves their demise to a legitimately worrying degree. Indeed, one of the biggest trends in a lot of Moon Knight comics is the continual question of whether the crime fighter wants to kill the criminals to try and make the world a better place, or if it's for his own selfish bloodthirst. Occasionally, this can make you question if Spectre can even be called a hero, because anyone who's torn the face of a person just because they wanted to maybe isn't the most moral. Number 2. The Punisher. It's impossible to make a list about trigger-happy superheroes without giving a shout-out to the Punisher. A gun-toting, hardcore anti-hero, the Punisher has one precise rule about crime, and that's, if you do it, you die. The interesting thing about this is that Frank has been equally lauded and villainized for this trait, leading him to being arguably one of the most polarizing characters in Marvel's roster. Because depending on what comics you've read, Castle is either a well-meaning vigilante who takes out crooks that the flaws of the justice system possess, or a man who is just happy to murder countless scores of people without always finding out if they're innocent or guilty. Mercifully for us, he's usually killing the decidedly guilty, which means that we can consider the Punisher's actions badass instead of, well, entirely chilling. And number 1, Ozymandias. Ozymandias is the poster child for heroes who have an insanely high kill count, having orchestrated a fake alien invasion that occurs at the end of Watchmen, which kills a whopping 3 million people. And the worst part is that these people's only crime was existing, as Ozymandias murders them in order to try and bring the world together to fight against this gross squid-like alien threat. Depressingly, this works, meaning that not only does Adrian kill countless people, he also never learns the error of his ways. However, if Doomsday Clock is to be considered the graphic novel sequel, this piece isn't long-lived, which definitely has some downsides because now it means that those 3 million deaths, well, they were for nothing. Great. And there we go, my friends. Those were 10 superheroes with sickeningly high kill counts. I hope that you enjoyed that, and please let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below. As always, I've been Jules. You can go follow me over on Twitter at RetroJ with a 0, or you can swing by Live and Let's Dice, where I do all of my streaming and Warhammer battle reports, so if you're into that sort of thing, then please come and check it out. As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Next up, we are straight back to Shadow Picard for another scene in which it's incredibly important to me that nothing bad ever happens to Lyra's character.
YouTube. The unexpected frontier. These are the videos of whatculture.com. Its continuing mission to list strange new facts, seek out news and offbeat discoveries, to boldly go where no What Culture channel has gone before.
Hey, how would you guys like to start a Star Trek channel?
Hell yeah! No, sorry, how's he got a uniform? I've been asking for one for months now, and I'm
Spider money, I'd be sipping jippers on the beach somewhere.
Hell yeah!
Is he even cold?
Hell yeah!
If I had any money, I'd be sipping jippers on the beach
Months I've been
somewhere.
asking for one.
Hell yeah!
If I had any money, I'd be sipping jippers on the beach somewhere.
Hell yeah!
If I had any money, I'd be sipping jippers on the beach somewhere.
Hell yeah!
If I had any money, I'd be sipping jippers on the beach somewhere.
Hell yeah!
If I had any money, I'd be sipping...
Hi, I'm Marcus Bronzy, new presenter for Trek Culture, What Culture's new home for all things Star Trek related. Now, we've already got a bunch of great content like Adam Cleary's ups and downs for every new episode of Picard, and we'll of course have all of the lists and rankings that you know and love us for. Fancy yourself a Trekkie and want to contribute? Well, What Culture is hiring video editors and writers, so if you want to get involved, fire over a CV and cover letter to trekculture@whatculture.com. And while you're at it, don't forget to slap subscribe and give us a follow on Twitter. It would be a great dishonour if you didn't. I've been Captain Marcus Bronzy. Until next time, Kapla!